What's up, family? I'm Real Mike Rob. Make sure you tuning in to the 3-point conversion radio. They got all of it, and they keep it funky. Let's get it.
This is Kyle Nash, the student of the game, with the 3-point conversion here in Orlando, Florida, the site of the Cheez-It Bowl here at Camping World Stadium. And listen, on paper, the Oklahoma Sooners at 6-6, representing the Big 12, versus number 13, the FSU Seminoles. Didn't seem like it was going to be a matchup necessarily, but it came down to the wire. The Seminoles still getting the 35-32 win, but yet another close result. One of many for the Sooners throughout the year. Definitely put up a good fight, though they do fall to the first losing season for a long time for that program, something the fans are having a little trouble getting used to. But nonetheless, that group still has a very bright future ahead of them. Their quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, who went 14 for 24 passing, had 243 yards with a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown at the beginning of the second quarter, had a pretty decent night, despite the fact he was without a number of pieces on offense with a number of opt-outs, right? Had offensive tackles who were opting out, and had Eric Gray, a 1,300-yard ground gainer, not available in the contest. Nonetheless, the Sooners still ran the ball well, had 200-yard ground gainers in Javonte Barnes and Gavin Sawchuk. Both also had touchdowns on the day, but Sawchuk did record a lost fumble, the only turnover on the night for the offense of the Sooners. But then defensively, Billy Bowman had an interception of Jordan Travis, the Seminoles quarterback overall. They were controlling the offense early, came out after FSU made a sprint down the field in their first drive to come away with only a field goal. The Oklahoma Sooners did their thing early on, and the Seminoles wouldn't score their first touchdown until 7 minutes into the second quarter. Early domination by the Sooners. Then at the end of the game, the Seminoles started to get hot. But listen, as far as the future of the Sooners go and what was seen from this Sooner group by head coach Brent Venables, he had this to say regarding that future and how positive it is, even with the upcoming change of conference to the SEC very shortly in their future.
Sometimes, and you're on the wrong side. And so, why was that? And so you go back and go back and evaluate all of it. And we'll peel that onion all the way down to the core and look at that. But I know I just watched what I watched. What I've been watching. And for a lot of people, they can't see that because they're not inside the building, and that's fine. And we'll be judged by being 6-7. That's fine too. Okay, but for me, for us. I know what the future looks like, and I've been seeing it in that locker room, and the winning will come. I know that without question.
Now, while FSU had a lot of great performances on offense, including Treshaun Ward's 10 carries for 81 yards with 2 touchdowns, as well as Johnny Wilson's 8 catches for a big 202 yards, there were no touchdowns by that Wilson. Ontario Wilson had the touchdown from Jordan Travis, as well as 270-pound tight end Marquiston Ward. That's where the passes came from for Jordan Travis, who finished the night throwing for over 400 yards and gaining 50 on the ground as well. He did have an interception on the night, but those numbers, he was clearly the player of the Cheez-It Bowl, the MVP of the game, over and above any of his cohorts. But the defense did definitely boast a big stat in sacking Dylan Gabriel 6 times. It was very evident that he was missing tackles. Advantage was taken by the Seminoles defense. Each side only had one takeaway each, but at the end of the day, Jordan Travis's big night was a part of what made the Seminoles come away with this victory. And he's actually talking about that he's coming back to FSU next year to finish things out there in Tallahassee. And here's what head coach Mike Nolan had to say about the future of his program and whether or not they're peaking at the right time to take shot at potential playoff appearances.
I mean, we're getting better, and that's our objective. Is, every day we go out on the field, or in the classroom, or whatever we're doing, and we want improvement. I will put no limits to what we can accomplish as a team, and I was disappointed in some of the setbacks that we faced earlier in the season, but these guys never stopped working and never stopped believing. This is a special place. I mean, this is a remarkable program to be a part of, and it's not just the the things of even the history of the past. I mean, it's the people. And when you get them around, the past players that have come around, and you see their support, you see their excitement, you see their joy. We represent them. We represent. I mean, that fan base that was out. I mean, that was special tonight. I mean, you look. We played in a couple of different places, going to New Orleans to kick off the season in a classic game, and the Knoll family showed up. And tonight in the bowl game, once again, the Knoll family showed up. I mean, this is a remarkable program to be a part of. But I get to coach guys like this, and I know that when I watch them work, when I watch them what they pour into it, they're challenging themselves to be the best they can be. And for where we're going, I can promise you, there's great days ahead in Tallahassee, and the future is very bright for this program. But it's because of the people that we have. It's because of that that constant push to get better, and guys like this willing to fight the fight.
So after everything's said and done, the Seminoles have their 10th win on the season and an opportunity to rise to an occasion to bring a program back to prominence for the first time in a while since the Jimbo Fisher era. Something that this program is surely looking forward to. Head coach Mike Norvell has done his part since he's come from Memphis, it would seem, and the future's bright. And listen, with the playoffs expanding, who knows, maybe FSU makes some noise in that situation. Maybe they're able to come out of the ACC next year. All of that is speculation and opportunity you'll see, especially with the return of Jordan Travis. Maybe they'll even be preseason ranked, who knows? But with all the returning folks that they have, it can only look good for the Seminoles at this point. This is Kyle Nash, the student of the game, with the 3-point conversion.